What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a minute since I went to go ahead and pick up the camera and vlog. I think the last video that we posted on the channel was about 2 months ago, which was at the Cars and Coffee. And we ended up picking up Jalen's 14 Honda Accord at Long Beach at Pasha, Hawaii. And so I think it's just finally time to go ahead and do some little update in life. Coming up on the 15th of this month, been about 6 months I've been living here in Las Vegas, and first time in a long time I haven't dealt with the summer heat. I think the last time was like 2003, and I must say that the summer heat came just a little late, so it wasn't too bad. As of right now, it is starting to cool down just a little bit. And the other bit, when we went to go ahead and move into our new home, we pretty much got every furniture, we got all that taken care of. You guys already know, you guys been asking, Jalen's Evo is actually coming, so I'm very excited. I've been dying to just work on the car and also drive the car because it's been a minute since I drove a standard car. Can't wait to fill boost. Of course, once the car gets over here, car would need to get a retune. The altitude is different, and over here in Vegas they have 91 octane. Back home it was 92, so of course all that I gotta get that taken care of. We are gonna be working on Jalen's 14 Honda Accord. This is the daily. She takes this to go work and other places, and it's basically overdue on maintenance, so I really want to catch up. I was supposed to go ahead and do the services when the car got here, but I got caught up, you know, working and taking care of a lot of stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and work on this car. First thing we're going to be doing is some oil service and also some CVT trans fluid drain and refill on this car. If you guys already know, the 14 Honda Accord and up does come with a CVT transmission, so every 30,000 miles you want to maintain that. I probably did it like 5-6 times just overall, just because I wasn't keeping track on the mileage, but always to do it now than later on and always forget. I'm gonna be running the car just a little bit so we can get the oil and trans fluid a little bit warm and easier to drain out. Probably just run it about 5 minutes. So let's just go ahead, pop the hood, lift the car up, and we can start draining the fluid. If I remember correctly, the car did show that had about 30% oil life until its service time, but I wanted to go ahead and get this thing out of the way. While the oil is draining, let's go ahead and pop this oil filter out. Hopefully I have a good grip. This is what I've been running on Jalen's Accord for a very long time and never giving me issues. Number one, I've always run it on my other cars as well. 5 quarts in it. Of course, you want to check the oil level when you run the engine for like 5 seconds. Put a dipstick, wipe it down, and recheck and make sure the level is where it needs to be. Next, we are gonna do the CVT trans. Gonna go ahead and remove this plug here on the top of the transmission. Go right underneath. This is where the drain plug is at. This thing is tight. Damn, I didn't make it this tight. Jeez. Oh, I guess I did make it that tight. That should not be that tight. Make sure the drain plug on the magnet is all nice and clean up before throwing it back on. And also put a new washer gasket on top. So before we go ahead and top off the transmission fluid, we are going to go ahead and jack up the rear end, so that way when the car is leveled where it needs to be, that will tell us the correct reading on our transmission fluid and also our engine oil. Want to go ahead and put the jack stands at the rear end because we're going to be replacing the brakes and rotors all around because they're pretty much shot. So let's go ahead and grab our long funnel, stick it to the top over here. And this transmission does take about 3.8 quarts of CVT fluids. And then we're gonna go through the gears: park, reverse, neutral, drive, 5 seconds per gear, 2 times. And then we can check our fluid. We're at operating temp. If you guys are watching this video, this is not a do-it-yourself video. I just feel like I needed to update the channel because I know it's been about 2 months since I post something, and I know that there wasn't any video to make, but besides just working on my wife's car, which I hope you guys enjoy. Jalen's Evo here in about a few weeks, and then we can get back on our grind on working on her car, because that car also needs some love. If you guys are asking about my Evo, it's still down. My friend is in the process of rebuilding the engine for me back in Hawaii. So I told him just take his time. You don't need to rush. We will probably not even see the Evo here for like maybe sometime next year. So let's go ahead and fire her up. We're gonna run it for 10 seconds at least before we go ahead and go through all the gears. 5 seconds per. So we got the car running for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go underneath the car. We are gonna go ahead and pull this plug out right over here, which that is basically our oil level. If this fluid comes out, then we are pretty much good on transmission fluid. Oh yeah, we're good. We're coming out. Engine oil and transmission fluid level are all in spec. I want to go change the air filter, cabin filter, and also I did order a battery lower tray because one on top on here is not there, and if I remember correctly, I must have left it back home somewhere. Here's the new lower battery tray, brand new from Honda, of course. Couldn't find any used one around in Vegas, so I went to go ahead and just pick this up. And also we got some cabin and air filter we're gonna go ahead and replace on the car. All the filters and also the battery lower tray is all in. Easy process, can't really do it wrong, honestly. But if you guys are probably wondering, or if I'm mentioning, you guys are now knowing that if you see that center of the dashboard, you get the glove box, both front seat belts are beige. It's because this car did came with interior beige. We had this interior pretty much all black, like the door panels, seats, back seats, the rear seat belt replaced from like years ago. And the reason being is because the car, like I said, it came with beige, and it's not very fun when you have to clean a beige seat all the time, when you have a little water stain, or it's hard to maintain every time there's something goes on top. So with the black interior, of course, we got this sports interior from my cousin years ago. He had a wreck Accord Sport, so whatever he had, I took basically everything on the car. So I am in the process of trying to get everything like black interior wise, but we do have the glove box, we do have the passenger seat belt. I am gonna go ahead and order from Honda for a driver's side seat belt, and also this piece over here. But little by little, the main thing is try to get those out of the way. The uppers can wait till like in the time being. Now I forgot to reset the oil level. If I remember correctly, you can have the car running, you can have the car on ignition and switch to reset the oil level. So all we gotta do is just press the trip button, go all the way down to the oil life. You gotta go ahead and press and hold the trip button. As soon as the indicator starts flashing, we're just gonna press and hold until it resets. So press and hold the trip button until it resets to 100 and you are good to go. Bingo. I've been dealing on this rotor for about at least 30 minutes and you can see it is not looking pretty good. The screw on top there is like C's and it rounded it, so I just want to go ahead and try drill as much holes as I can, break it loose, but it's just not happening. So all the screws on all the rotors all around comes out nicely. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tackle the front, just replace the brakes and rotors. As soon as Jalen gets back, because she has the Pilot, I'm gonna go drive to Harbor Freight and grab some drill bits, and hopefully we can take that out of this rotor side. This rotor has some sort of like paint coating on top of it, so when you spray some brake clean on top, it comes right off. Front brake pads and rotors are good to go, so now we can go ahead and drive the car. We also checked the brake fluid, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and drive around the block and then we can bring the car back. I wanna get this car all nicely cleaned up. I wanna go ahead and get that done. Let's go ahead and drive the car. I am very excited to have Jalen's Evo over here. It just got shipped out last week on the 7th, I believe. So once it gets here, it is gonna land at Long Beach. I am gonna have the car trucked to the house. And the reason why we're doing that is because I don't wanna drive the car for 4.5 hours with a 10+ year old tires. So the sidewalls and the thread depths are cracking. So the last thing I wanna worry about is having the tires pop on me on the way to Las Vegas. It's been a long overdue since I felt boost and also driving manual gear. I know some of you guys were asking when the Evo is coming. A lot of money, of course, you know, spending about $2 grand just to get the car shipped from Hawaii and then landed to LA, or landed to Long Beach, you should say, and also getting the car trucked here. The Accord is all nice and cleaned up, minus this corner panel. I did mention about it on the last video that this was there about 5 years ago, and we are gonna get this fixed one day in the future. I am gonna wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoy anything that we installed on the Accord 13 all the way up to 17. I believe this should be all the same. I'll have everything down in the description box below. Hopefully the next video will be the day that we get the Evo and we can start vlogging more things about it. Hello guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.